umbrella. She's up. Whole nother level of shit you can't even understand.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another episode of the forecast. Back on this Thursday, open phone Thursday, so you can call up and talk about whatever you want. Any topic you want to talk about, now is the opportunity. If we miss something, you can call up and talk about it. And I want to address this issue going on with Lavar Ball. And notice I haven't talked about Lavar Ball before because, quite honestly, at first, I really didn't pay attention to it. From what I heard about it, it just seemed kind of annoying. But now this whole situation that happened on the Herd, the Colin Cowherd's show, the incident with Kristine Leahy, I believe her name is, the female reporter on the Herd. Now, there's so many ways we can go with this dynamic, and this just illustrates the relationship and how things are and how they have been working in society on a whole bunch of fronts. Now, I want to play this video before I respond to it. I'm going to play some of the interview with Lavar Ball versus Kristine Leahy on the Herd the other day.
Let's get into the shoes. I thought your price point was a little high. How about we make a deal? Why don't you just drop it to about $350?
How about you create your own shoe and you drop it to $350 and see how many people buy it?
Let's take a... Listen, first of all, I said this on the air. I said, it's easy to pop off, but I used to think there'd never be a $10 million home, and now there's $70 million homes. I never thought I'd pay $5 for a cup of coffee.
Right.
So $300, $400 shoes may sound outrageous, but my argument is if Lonzo kills it in the Summer League, if he's 2 games in with 13 assists both nights, and he's fun and flashy, we're going to go, that's all it costs? Have you sold any shoes yet?
Yeah, I've sold a good amount to me. Like I said, there's different amounts.
How many?
Stay in your lane.
Wait,
Anyway,
I'm just curious.
I don't even worry about her over there.
Why
Every
not?
time she
I
scares
think
me
that's
to
kind
death.
of disrespectful.
She said she scares Lonzo. Lonzo's scared of me. She scares me. That's why I don't look that way. I don't look over there because she scares me. I'm thinking of Saul right now.
I'm just trying.
Leave me alone. I'll tell you, 400-500 pair.
So she's a reporter. Her job is to probe.
She can report to whoever she wants behind her. I'm talking to you, Colin.
Well, what is your problem with me?
Hey, my problem is you are a hater.
Why?
I would never wear a big baller shirt. But
no,
good.
I didn't
Don't
say
even
that.
talk to me. But I heard you say it. I'm not even worried about it.
I said that I wouldn't wear something that
It
as
says
a woman.
big baller. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
With all due respect, you're a great reporter. Just not reporting on me.
I have a right to say what shirt I would and wouldn't wear.
Welcome to Big Baller Zone.
Well, no, I think I actually was saying
offensive.
it as like a point.
To
No,
her
I didn't say no. I didn't say it was offensive. I didn't say it was offensive.
Yeah.
I just said, if you want to, work with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, to maybe have something that appeals to women.
I thought that was a legit. I mean, I don't have to agree, but I thought that was a pretty good point.
I don't agree.
But I thought it was a good point.
No, I'm actually saying it as like a point of advice.
I'm not friends with her. I don't even see that. I don't even see it.
I wasn't saying it as like I would never wear this.
What's this show about again? Ain't we talking about shoes? I don't want to talk about all that. Next.
Well, I think in order to have a successful company, you're going to have women who like your brand.
Yeah, if you have a women's company. But anyways.
Oh, so you're not marketing to women.
We're talking about Big Baller.
Come on, you haven't. You went a little over the top on the MJ comparison.
I never went on the MJ. No, that's my opinion. I never went over the top because you say I'm over the top. No. I truly believe, like I said, I can beat him in my heyday one-on-one. Basketball's not one-on-one, but I got enough strength and enough speed to beat him one-on-one. I'm just going to bag you in and do a jumper. There's nothing you can do about it. But the fact that he's won championships, you put him at a different level. There's a lot of people that was like Michael Jordan that can play as good as him, but you've never seen before. Yeah. Because let me tell you why. They in the ghetto. They don't study good. They don't get that up here that allows them to go compete on that level. Because you got to have some education. I know some talented guys that jump over cars and dunk, doing the same thing as Michael Jordan, but they got different vices, which wouldn't allow them to go through the school and say, you know what, let me go to college. Some of them try to get in there and they have all this talent, but then they get veered off of doing, liking a lot of girls, hanging out, doing just bad choices. He's a ball player. He is who he is. And like I said, and going back to Whitlock, I don't think he can comment on anything but snacks.
Now,
wow,
that's a little harsh.
It's going to be harsh because he want to be harsh
so
on me.
you
Guess
disrespect
what?
women and people for their
no,
weight?
that's what you say. I didn't say nothing about no
No,
weight.
you just said that to me.
Like I told her, I'm not even worried about you right now. Keep in your lane.
Can you look
like
me
I
in the
said,
eye?
Whitlock, I don't want to look you in the eye. You scare me to death.
Oh.
Like I said.
Thank you.
Yes, you're scaring me right now. I don't want to look that way. But I'm talking about Whitlock is always coming with this stuff. Lavar needs to bag up. Lavar needs to do that. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck, it's a duck. Don't come at me and don't think I'm going to come at you. You have no, where your kids at?
Lavar, initially there was a report that the big dogs, I'm just throwing them out here, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, I may be wrong on one of them, said, no, we're not interested. Will you pursue another meeting with those teams now that Lonzo appears to be headed to Los Angeles?
Now that Lonzo's headed to Los Angeles, what they should have did is gave me $1 billion and let me be on my way.
That's unrealistic. They're not.
Yeah, unrealistic to you.
No, it's
now. You know what? If they want to come talk to me now, it just went up to $3 billion. Triple B's, billion.
But you don't believe that?
No, I do believe that. That's the only way they're gonna come at me. I'm already in the building. I don't need them for nothing, as you can tell.
They wouldn't want to work with you anyway because you don't respect women. So
she's after you today.
Oh, I don't respect women, but I'm the one that's married. I'm good. Well, she can say what she wants. She's trying to put. I never disrespect women. But I tell you what, if you act like that, guess what? Something's coming to you.
Oh.
And it's okay.
Do you think...
Are you threatening me?
Oh, see how she tried to turn the words? I would never threaten you.
You said something's coming to me.
I don't know what it is. I'm not a psychic.
Oh.
Finally, once the Lakers sign him,
yes,
and I think he'll sign fairly quickly, that's my guess, your son wants to play.
Right, exactly.
Does Dad go away? How close is Dad to the Lakers?
Dad is never going to go away. I'm always going to be his dad. Just like people say, oh, I need to fall back. I don't walk behind my son. I walk on the side of him. So I'm always going to be on the side.
All right. So that was the interview with Lavar Ball on the Herd. And you can see that she was on there obviously trolling them. And the funny thing is, she feels as though she is above reproach, I guess. And just days earlier, she made comments about how he's a bad parent and all that stuff. Now, at first I felt like he's over the top, but I wouldn't say he's a bad parent. He has 3 fucking kids. One in college, about to go to the NBA. One about to go to college. Another one that will eventually go to college. He is getting his children out of the streets and onto the path and trying to become a successful businessman and make his children successful businessmen. I can't hate on that. But here she is talking about this, and now she wants to turn around and play victim like, oh, I don't understand why you have a problem with me. And then all of a sudden she wants to make this whole thing about women. No, I'm not disrespecting all women. I'm disrespecting you because you disrespected me. Well, what you can say and do whatever you want about me, and I'm supposed to just say, oh, okay, thanks a lot, yes ma'am. No, fuck that. And he wasn't having it. He wasn't feeling her. He wasn't trying to talk to her. And, she makes a statement, well, if you want to have a successful product, you have to market to women. Right? You can market to whoever you want to market to. If you want to market to men specifically, they're your core demographic, you can market to that demographic. Right? It doesn't mean women aren't going to buy it or women don't support it. She was just trolling this man, trying to get a response. And then when he do respond, now she is the innocent victim here. And, a lot of men have seen it, but what we cannot get around is the whole dynamic between her being a white woman and him being a black man. Now, he said, oh, you talk about me, you're going to get what's coming to you. And, she went out the way to say, oh, did you hear her voice? Got extra high. Oh, wait a minute. Are you threatening me? As if she had the look on her face, oh, got him. No, damn well he wasn't threatening your ass. And see, this is the problem what we got and what we cannot really get around. Because with the gender issue, men do have the same problems to a certain extent. And the treatment over men and women. But at the same time, these people will put all of those differences aside for the white race. Alright, we didn't create racism, they created racism. And as long as they come together under that banner of white and keep us divided and trying to stay away from the banner of being black, then they have us divided and conquered. Right? And now she wants to play victim, which is the classic card, especially of white feminists. And the whole time, they don't see the role that they play in helping maintain this. Right? In the history of America, less than 100 years ago, there have been so many black communities destroyed off of the words of white women. So when we get to society where men are dominant over women, when have black men ever been dominant over white women, or black women for that matter? They've always tried to keep black men at the bottom of society. And she doesn't see how this can correlate with incidents like Emmett Till all over. Right now, when the woman's 70, 80 years old, she admits she lied. This girl knows she's full of shit. She conveniently leaves out the part where she questions his parenting skills, trying to say he abused his children. She didn't say it, but she was definitely implying it. What else do you mean when you say your children are scared of you? What else could you mean? And, that's why we have to pay attention to these agendas these people have, these feminist agendas, because they use the patriarchy when it's really white men at the top. So I guess you can call it a patriarchy. But all of the things that they go against, it seems to only affect black men. It seems that black men are the only ones getting arrested. Not that they're the only ones getting arrested, but they certainly are at a higher clip for the same things and even for less things. There are people who are in jail doing more time for marijuana and have worse criminal records for marijuana than white kids, white men who rape kids even. And they have less of a criminal record than those people. And now she kind of wants to play innocent as, oh no, I wasn't doing anything. He just went off. I have no problem trash talking and doing all of these things. Just don't disrespect me. Meanwhile, you can say and do and disrespect anybody who you want to disrespect. And by the way, that shit is only in the eye of the beholder. Because to me, he didn't disrespect her. And even if he did, fuck that. Why should I respect somebody who's not respecting me? But for her to quickly shift that into a gender issue, which is crazy because then they get the black feminists on their side who are quick to attack black men also. But we see this all the time. And there's nothing new with this. And at the end of the day, they go back to playing victims as if they did nothing wrong. Because they don't believe that they did. Or, in my opinion, I think that they know what they're doing. They're just trolling you. Trying to get a response out of you so they can say, look, the angry black guy. But, I'm sure there's going to be more to the story because more is happening. You got black hosts over on Fox Sports coming to her defense, who has been cooning for a pretty long time. But now he's attacking anybody who has anything to say to her, because black people ain't putting up with that shit. We know the fucking pattern. Black women have been saying this shit for years about the dynamics between race as well as gender. And we can't stop talking about this while we're in America until white women and black men get the same exact treatment in this society. And LeVar even points that out. Some of the things he pointed out about how there were kids better than Michael Jordan who never made it, that's absolutely true. And when you bring up the reasons why they're in that situation, they say, well, you're blaming the white people, but you can't escape history. How they destroyed our economies time and time again. How they try to pin us against each other time and time again. How they put laws into effect that attack us time and time again that still happen to this day. Now, they're probably going to try to ruin this kid, which ain't going to happen. Right? Now, all you did is get a bunch of supporters for Lavar Ball, especially black people. Because the only ones who I see offended happen to be white. And we cannot let this whole thing with white women off of the hook here, because they are just as responsible as white men for the way society is and has been. And let's be honest here, the death of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of black people. Not saying that she specifically did anything, but what she's doing is still perpetuating this. Even trying to throw shots at him about his shoes, about, they wouldn't want to work with you anyway. Good. We should stop selling our businesses to those white people. We should start recycling our dollars, keeping the black businesses profiting. We should be supporting each other anyway. We shouldn't be making companies and selling back to white people and they continue to own everything. I hope they don't want to work with it. They do got to come with billions. He got the right mindset. And she trying to throw shade, but shit, I hope they don't come back to him. And if they do, they going to have to pay. I feel them. It is what it is. But, I want to hear your opinion on this whole situation. If you think he disrespected her and he was wrong, I want to hear your side of it. How did you come to that conclusion?
Donkey of the Day for Thursday, May 18th goes to Kristine Leahy of Fox Sports 1. Now, yesterday, the revolutionary known as Lavar Ball was on The Herd with Colin Cowherd, and on this show is a young lady named Kristine Leahy. Now, if you look at all the headlines from this appearance, you see things like Lavar Ball under fire for remark to female Fox Sports 1 reporter, or Kristine Leahy responds to Lavar Ball's threatening comments on Fox Sports 1. And what bothers me about this is a lot of people feel like Lavar Ball came in and was so-called disrespectful to Kristine Leahy for no reason. But no. See, a lot of times people see the clap back, but don't see the initial clap that caused the clap back. And this is the case of Lavar Ball versus Kristine Leahy. Let's put it into context. Kristine Leahy has been critical of Lavar Ball in the past, specifically questioning his parenting skills, and even said that Lavar Ball's kids are afraid of him. Let's hear it.
All three sons, you have kids. How rare is it that all three kids want to do the exact same thing? They're being forced to do it. They're being told, you will start basketball at age 6, like Lonzo told us. And whenever you asked him a question, I think he said, 5 words? And he looks terrified whenever he's talking. I asked, have you ever had a disagreement with your father? And he said no. And everyone at this table, we know you at one point or another disagree with your parent, unless you're afraid to disagree with your parent. He looks genuinely afraid. But it's also telling that Lonzo said he wants to stay close to home. Great, if you want to play for the Lakers, I understand that, but it said it's close to home. He doesn't want to leave his father, doesn't want to leave that nest, and that's not going to go over well when you're surrounded by grown men playing in the NBA.
First of all, don't tell me how to parent my kids. That's number one. I run my household the way I want to run my household. Does Kristine Leahy have kids? I don't know if she does or not, but I wonder how she would feel if someone had negative things to say about the way she parents. And I hate how she mistakes respect with fear. Lavar Ball's sons clearly respect their father as they should, and that's why they listen to him. And why wouldn't you listen to the man who raised you? Clearly listening to him got them the way they are now, so why would I stop what's working? Y'all keep asking this young man, Lonzo, to rebel against his father, and I don't understand why. On one hand, you saying it's not enough fathers in their kids' lives, but when the father is in the kids' lives as much as Lavar is, then you say he's doing too much. I don't get it. Now, let's unpack that exchange. I hate how she acted like she didn't know why Lavar was mad at her. You know what you said about that man. Don't be clueless now because he done pulled up. Now, not only did Kristine Leahy play the gender card, she played the race card and didn't even know it. If you was paying attention, you kept hearing Lavar Ball say, Kristine, I don't want to talk to you because you scare me. The reason he kept saying that is because he understands big, scary black man going at little white woman in America never ends well. Top 3 scariest things a black man can hear is, are you threatening me? From a white woman, especially when you're not even threatening her. Kristine Leahy was purposely twisting Lavar Ball's words to demonize him. Lavar Ball totally saw that coming. That's why he kept repeating, I'm scared of you. That was a classic, age-old example of a white woman demonizing a black man. That is the kind of demonizing that black men have been dealing with for years, and Kristine Leahy played that same card yesterday, and that was weak, cheap, and dangerous. Give Kristine Leahy the biggest hee-haw, please.
In 1955, a 21-year-old white woman named Carolyn Bryant claimed that Till made sexual advances toward her. Now, that claim led to Till's kidnapping and death.
Historian Tim Tyson said the woman who made those accusations has broken her silence for the first time to recant her story. What's so shocking is to hear, because we've all heard the gory details, that he whistled at her, that he made a sexual advance towards her, and all these years later, she says what to you?
She said, with respect to the, if been a physical assault on her or anything menacing or sexual, that part isn't true. And
because she claims that he grabbed her by the waist, that he held her, that he wouldn't let her go, that he touched her hand, and she says that is not true. Right.
But, well, touched her hand when they exchanged money for candy.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe so, but I don't know about that.
Had she been living this in a horrific way, knowing that she...
Yeah. Well, she's far from the most important victim in the story, of course, but yeah, she had
not told the truth.
It's obviously been a great burden.
Someone was
and a pain.
Brutally.
She thought about Mamie a lot.
Mamie is Emmett's mother.
She lost Emmett's mother. She lost a son herself later, and she said always thought about Mamie.
So why did she decide finally to make the call?
Well, I can't read her mind. I'm not sure.
Well, you talked to her.
But I did. Yeah, my sense was that she wanted to unburden herself. She also wanted to tell her story. She was, for posterity.
What did she say about Emmett's death and murder?
She said nothing that boy did could ever justify what happened to him.
That's right.
Yeah, they all agree that there was a whistle, that he did whistle.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have. That doesn't justify what was done to him at all.
They had a harmless exchange. That's
right.
The two white men who were accused of murdering Emmett in 1955, they admitted it later in a magazine interview.
They did.
They were acquitted by an all-white, all-male jury,
Yes.
so they could not be retried. What did she say about them?
One was her husband.
One was her husband. One was her brother-in-law, who she described as being domineering and brutal, and not a kind man. It was. They were not the only people involved in the lynching of Emmett Till. There were other family members and a family friend involved. So
things have turned even more ugly, Kristine, in my opinion, via social media. And then also now on what I believe to be the most popular urban hip-hop station, most powerful, Charlemagne the God, did a commentary labeling you the donkey of the day. And this kind of sent me over the top because he went as far as to analogize this to what happened with Emmett Till, and that your suggestion that it came off to you like, is he threatening you? You asked that question. Somehow he analogizes this to Emmett Till. Lavar Ball was inappropriate. I don't think he was so classically inappropriate he needs to be thrown in jail, banned from television or anything like that. But I do think he was dismissive, condescending, came off sexist. And then I could understand why you, in that moment, being treated that way, thought like, hey, man, you threatening me? I totally get it. For Charlemagne the God to use his platform, the most powerful urban hip-hop station in America with a huge following, to throw that kind of heat on you when your intentions weren't malicious at all, your interaction with Lavar Ball wasn't disrespectful at all. For him to throw that kind of heat on you and your family, way out of bounds. To analogize it to Emmett Till, one of the worst tragedies happened in American history because you questioned the guy in a polite way. Man, are you threatening me? This is ridiculous. And it plays into a racial politics that has gotten out of hand or via social media. Charlemagne, stop it. Cut it out.
Exactly. The unfortunate thing is that this was never supposed to be a war, and it's turned into it. It was never supposed to be a war between me and Lavar, between me and Charlemagne the God, and now it's turned into that. It's not a war on race. It's not a racial discussion. It's not a feminist discussion. It was about respect, purely respect. And I did ask that question, are you threatening me? Because what he said to me was that I have something coming to me. And if he wanted to have a respectful conversation where he answered me and said, no, of course not, or clarified, it would have been done there. But he continued and said again that I had something coming to me. So in that moment, I don't know how else I can interpret that. Also, I encourage everyone, he has now turned the words to say that I accused him of child abuse. I would encourage everyone to please go watch the clips, which are out there, in full length of me discussing it. I don't need to rehash it now or defend myself. I never accused anyone of child abuse. That is a very, very serious issue, and I would never go there. And to Charlemagne the God, I would love to go on your show. I've actually been a fan of The Breakfast Club. And if we can have a healthy conversation about this and make some good come out of it, let's do it.
Put some respect on your name.
Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on it.
All right, and we back on the forecast. We were talking about the interview on The Herd with LeVar Ball and, his interaction with the host, Kristine Leahy, and the backlash that it's causing, and it's still going on, starting to be between Charlemagne and the dudes defending her because he gave her donkey of the day and all of that. But while we on this subject in this area, there are many things that we have to talk about, especially in the black community, because we can't afford to be going to that male versus female thing. We can't afford to play that card because they're attacking black men, they're attacking black women, and they are attacking our children. And we so busy fighting with each other, blaming each other for the circumstances. And black women are looking for every opportunity to blame black men looking for every opportunity to blame black women. And we sitting up here arguing with each other about the circumstances when we can't afford to do that. And just like this young lady, Kristine Leahy, went automatically to the woman card after she started shit, black women doing the same is no better. And especially for our circumstances, just between us, we can't afford to do that. So a couple weeks ago, Ricky Smiley made a joke on his show about, this girl was so black that whatever he said. And how quickly that shit went from 0 to 100 is crazy. Right? But I want to hear it from her. Let's hear what this young lady has to say. What offended her? What pissed her off about what Ricky Smiley has said on this radio show?
Every morning, I get up and I listen to the Ricky Smiley morning show. And I'm a huge fan of Ricky Smiley. I love me some Ricky Smiley. He lost a fan this morning. And I'm going to tell you why. I understand his comedic views. Like, I understand where he comes from with, his jokes that he tell. But in 2017, the way shit is going amongst black people, one of the jokes that he said this morning took it a little bit too far for me. And it was completely just out of nowhere, which made it even more unnecessary because it has to deal with dark-skinned black women, and they seem to always be the butt of jokes. And regardless of my skin tone and me being lighter, I'm still a black woman, all right? So my job is to defend black women, no matter what shade they are, when they are being attacked and ridiculed for no fucking reason. The joke went as such, completely out of nowhere, because he was doing his Paternity Test Tuesday thing on there. He says, just completely out of the left fucking field, a dark-skinned woman walked into my kitchen the other day and my skillet started laughing. They started giggling. And I'm sitting there in my car and it hits me, okay, he's making the analogy that the girl is so damn dark that his black skillets are giggling at her skin shade. How the fuck is this funny at all? For one, you're implying that being dark-skinned is something that's laughable. It's something that should bring a giggle or two for someone to be dark-skinned. It's in no way, shape, or form fucking funny. And I am past tired, especially of black men ridiculing our black women. I'm fucking tired of it. I'm done. And people look at me crazy because I'm not even dark-skinned, no. But I have dark-skinned nieces, dark-skinned nephews. My older brother is darker than me. You're not going to keep knocking our people as if black is not beautiful. This is the bullshit, and the main reason why black women have the lowest self-esteem is because our black men do not even fucking support us. Y'all talk all this shit about us, and then when we break and try to change our appearance, you fuck around and talk about that too. Well, damn. It's bad enough that our skin is mocked and made fun of by white people. We turn around and our backbones, which is our men that should support us and stand up for us, y'all turn around and fucking talk about us too. Where the fuck does that leave us? And y'all wonder why black women are so horrible to deal with. They have attitude problems. They bullheaded. They act like they too strong. We have to, because majority of our men are bitches and pussies and don't stand up for us. Matter of fact, they're the ones that bash and knock us the fuck down. I'm pissed off that a celebrity of his stature would say such a fucking thing, especially since he has brown-skinned daughters. But I guess they're not that bad because they're not that dark. Ricky Smiley, I hope somehow, some way this video reach your ass and you recant what the fuck you said, because that shit wasn't funny at all.
Alright, so I guess the video did reach him, but he didn't recant what he said. Now, my question here is, how the hell did it go from Ricky Smiley making a "you so black" joke to black men are bitches and pussies who don't respect black women. Not all, of course, but the majority. That's a bunch of bullshit, right? A lot of women in the black community talk about how black men are abandoning them and going for white women when 90% of black men are married to black women, right? So you're judging us off the 10% that's married to non-black women. That's the first thing. But for her to get all the way from "you so black that such and such," which doesn't apply to black women or black men specifically, right? Because I'm sure there are females out there who, like, goddamn, the female comedian Monique, I'm sure she said to somebody, "You're so black that, you know, you walked in a room and couldn't see nothing but your teeth," or some shit like that, you know?
Momo holding her own, ain't she? What time is it? What time is it? You got it going on, Mo. Come on, Mo. Let's go.
Your mother's so dark, she make the lighthouse look dim.
That's dark. That's dark.
And I ain't no comedian, but he wasn't specifically talking about black women. And it seems like black women search and find opportunities to do this. By the way, black men do this too. And when they talk about this community of black men who attack black women, which do exist, I see it. What they don't say is that there is about the same population of black men who say black women are queen or black women are gods. Not to mention the black women that bash black men. Now, she may not think she was bashing black men. She may just think, oh, I'm just pointing something out. But what you're doing is attacking black men just like everyone else. Right? I will admit that black women are quick to stand up for black men, but they are just as quick to attack us. They may be the first one to stand up for us, but they are the first one to come for us. They just portray it as black women have been so perfect, black women have made no mistakes. And I'm not saying black men haven't made mistakes, but the point is we're both accountable for what happened. Men can make the same arguments about how black women abandon them, or don't respect them, or don't want them. Because if I can recall, I can remember when that independent woman shit started happening. Well, it didn't just start happening, it been happening for 40-something, 50 years. But I can remember in the 90s when it got heavy. I'm a strong, independent black woman. I don't need a man. You tell a man that for 20 years, what the fuck do you expect? And like I said, black men and black women, yeah, we have issues that we're going to need to work out. But for now, we're going to have to get on the same goddamn page. And sitting there to continually bash each other for you to come to the conclusion that all black men are bitches and pussies and ain't shit. Well, not all, because nothing's all, of course. But most black men are this. Because Ricky Smiley made a joke that could be made about men or women. Right, and you can talk about the dynamics of complexion, but all that is happening is everybody's making it worse. Right, you think men gonna fucking go up and say, oh, you're right, I'm so sorry about what I've been doing by you calling them bitches and pussies and demanding them to do shit. Especially after years of saying you don't need them and neglecting men. In the same way, you wouldn't expect, or you wouldn't come back if men were calling you bitches and hoes, like you claim that we do, but not all of us do. Now, some women are bitches, some women are hoes. That's just facts. Doesn't mean all women are bitches and hoes. It's just that the good women surround the bad women. So they all end up in the same damn boat. And issues like this transcend race. Because we love to say as black people, oh, we're the only ones who do this and do that. Well, I got news for you. No, we are fucking not. They love to say black men are the only ones who blast their own race of women. That is some goddamn bullshit. I suggest you do more research. Just look up fucking MGTOW. All they do is quote unquote bash women. But no, black men are the only ones who do this thing. And women have to get out of this mindset that anytime a man, let alone black man to a black woman, criticize anything she does, that's not attacking a whole group of people. Right? If I call some random girl who is a bitch to me a bitch, that is not me calling every woman I've ever known a bitch. Or saying all black women are bitches, or my mom is a bitch, because this fucking girl ain't never did what my mom did for me. So how the hell is she magically in the same category? Now black women say, well, we're fed up. We've been having your backs all this time. No, all this time you've been saying we don't need you. Not saying black men have not been doing dirt, again. But y'all act like y'all are so innocent and that black women haven't been doing dirt. Now, I don't want to go down this road because we can't afford to do that shit right now. If you haven't noticed, they're attacking all of our ass. And at the end of the day, just look at the election. That's the real poll. They put aside their gender differences for the sake of white people. For the quote-unquote survival of white people. And if we can't do the same, then I don't know how we can change our results that we've been getting. So, we got to stay out of this whole thing about black men disrespect black women or black women do this to black men. Because what you're doing is taking a certain small population and letting it speak for the whole community. That's no different from saying black people are criminals or black women are loud and ghetto. But going down that road is only going to lead to more division and plays right into the hands of these people. Right? It's funny how they use the civil rights movement when Martin Luther King started talking about how they built the white middle class, it was really welfare, but they didn't call it welfare. It was government assistance that built the white middle class. Martin Luther King started talking that shit, and all of a sudden they come up with policies to kick the men out of the home and create single parent homes and to starve them out economically. And come along with feminism and tell first black women they don't need black men, and now all women that they don't need men. And now women are coming back saying, well, why don't you help us? Well, you've been saying you don't want our help, but we can't sit up here and cry about that. We have to come together. It is what it is.
Okay, so I'm not really responding to somebody that's upset about a joke, an old joke. Your mama's so black, when she walk in the kitchen, skillet start giggling. And it's just a joke that's been used in a comedy club. George Wallace used that joke. George Wallace said, your mama's so ugly, she can stop bird shit in midair. Your mama's so fat, the police told her to haul ass, she had to make 2 trips. Your mama's so skinny, she have to run around in the shower to get wet. Your mama's so ugly, she make onions cry. Your mama's so black, she went to night school, they marked her absent. Your mama this, your mama that. Your mama's so dumb, your mama's so stupid. These jokes are written in a book. Now, if you really go out and do your comedy research, you can go find the jokes in the Your Mama joke book. They're on the internet. They're on the internet. So, but what you did was, take the opportunity to target me for telling the joke. But I'm not the first one to tell it. Hundreds of comedians have told that joke, but it struck a nerve with you one morning because I guess you just feel like, and some lady came on Facebook and said, well, she's been bullied. Everybody been bullied. I got my ass kicked in the 7th, 8th grade. Everybody has been through something. Now, I don't care about that. I'm not going to apologize. I don't owe her an apology. The joke wasn't to her. The joke was not about her. We have not attacked her family. And people kill me. The first thing come out of people's mouth that I find interesting, they say, I'm a fan. You're a damn lie. You're a damn lie. You're not a fan. You're not a fan. You're not a fan. What defines a fan? Because I'm sure everybody on this Facebook Live, I have said something, I did something that everybody didn't particularly care for. I still will be doing the jokes. Dark jokes, light jokes, fat jokes, skinny jokes, gay jokes, straight jokes, jokes. We still gonna do jokes.
Yeah, Mickey Knox, nigga. The plot makers. Shit is getting real, man. Listen up, nigga. Yo. I get it poppin' like no other, the soul brother. Yeah, stay in touch with my spirit, you just a ghostbuster. Baby boy with the old chuckers, but I'm getting guns and butter, my nigga. That's how I toast fuckers. New blood in the league, sit down and coach ruckus. You made some noise before, but that was old ruckus. Like Pharaoh Marsh, Mickey saying Simon says, suck up on that fucking dick, put your legs behind your head, run up on that fucking click, bet you they gon' find you dead. It's principle, and I ain't talking about Bellman or Joe Clark literal. Hit you with my little dudes, all bloodied up like, look what I did to you. See? My wordplay got them open, bars is potent, smooth criminal like Scarface dipped in lotion. As I sip the potion, guaranteed blunt roasted. Hop on the bike, hit the one-wheel motion. I ain't a millionaire yet, but I keep hoping to get that sand color whip with the seas ocean. Till then, I keep the beast focused. I'm tired of talking, trying to get some shit that can speak for us. We was deep dogs, you was just a lucky bitch. Everything that glitters ain't gold, but fuck that dusty shit. Bitches used to walk past on some fuck me shit. Now they pulling out the ass on some fuck me shit. And who am I to deny? I gladly oblige. Skied off in the eye, a nasty goodbye. Or a hello, twisted riding through the ghetto. Niggas catching DUI, sitting next to Mellow. Everybody ride hard till they break their pedal. Trying to get my band right like I played the cello. 25 now, tired when I'm 32. So I'm everywhere like them bitches in the furry boots. Sticky smell in the air like where the fuck is Snoop? Black Plains, nigga, what it do? Who the fuck is you?
Alright, and we back on the forecast, back on this Open Phone Thursday. And if you want to continue the conversation, you can go to the forecast. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something. Or we can keep falling for anything.